Eli, as a national director of the March of the Living, has changed this organization in a profound way. The Jewish children that go to Poland now meet with the Polish people. They are taught Polish history. They do not only go and visit Auschwitz, they also learn what happened before Auschwitz in the 1,000-long history of Polish Jews.
This is Eli's background.
Yes, no, I wanted to introduce Eli because nobody did.
We're honoring Peter, but Elizabeth is still the boss. Honored guests and dignitaries, Consul General, it is my privilege as National Director of the March of the Living and as a personal friend of Peter and Elizabeth to say a few words here this evening in recognition of his exceptional contributions that he's made over the last 10 years as President of the Polish Jewish Heritage Foundation of Canada. And I want to do this through a few short stories and songs. And the first song we're going to hear from the March of the Living Choir is a song called Eli Eli. It was written by Hannah Senesh, who perished in the Holocaust. She was executed at age 23 by the Nazis on November 7th, 1944. And the words in English to the song are, "O Lord my God, I pray that these things never end, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, and the prayer of the heart." So the March of the Living Choir is now going to sing this song called Eli Eli, and then I'll explain the connection to the presentation here this evening. We began this presentation with that song because I think that the goals of the March of the Living and the Polish Jewish Heritage Foundation of Canada is not to just discuss what happened to the victims during the Holocaust, but also to highlight the enormous creativity that existed before the war, before their lives were taken away so tragically. Over the last 10 years, so many of the programs that Peter and I have worked on together and so many of the programs that I had no involvement with that the foundation established were in this vein, helping us to understand the exceptionally vibrant life of pre-war Jewish Europe, especially in Poland. The history of the Jews, as we all know, did not start in 1939, but almost 1,000 years ago in Poland, and much, if not most of this history, has caused the Jewish people to be what they are today because of the fertile ground and the incredible welcome they had in Poland for so many centuries. A little story. There was a man by the name of Raphael Scharf who moved from Auschwitz to Krakow. Another part of his family moved to Canada, and they changed his name from Scharf to Sharp and found a small little hotel chain called the Four Seasons. You might have heard of that. But Raphael Scharf had a teacher by the name of Ben-Sion Rappaport. And one day, Ben-Sion notices that a student didn't come to class, and he finds out that Raphael was praying, he was davening, and he was coming late to class. And his teacher, who was Orthodox himself, took him aside and said, listen, you're a young boy. These prayers are way too complicated for you. The essence of prayer is to get up every morning and ask yourself the following question. What is your obligation to the world? How can you make the world a better place? The rest of the prayers will do when you're older. His teacher, Ben-Sion Rappaport, was murdered in the Holocaust. Raphael Scharf survives. And for the rest of his life, he would get up in the morning and ask himself that question. What can I do to make the world a better place? When we study the history of the Holocaust, we also have to understand people like that gentle teacher, Ben-Sion Rappaport, who teaches us today to get up every morning to ask that question. And I believe that Peter too every morning gets up and unconsciously asks that question. How can he make the world a better place? How can he fulfill his duty to both his Polish and Jewish heritage? How can he bring both peoples together? The second theme I want to share with you is the memory of the Holocaust. And over the last 10 years, again, the Polish Jewish Heritage Foundation of Canada, through Peter's leadership, has organized countless programs that ensure the memory of the Holocaust will never be forgotten. The next song, What Will Become of All the Memories, asks the question, what will happen when the last survivor is no longer able to tell the story? The answer is in the last sentence of the song, and is also in the kind of important educational work that Peter and the Polish Jewish Heritage Foundation has been doing over the last number of years. So, what will become of all the memories by the March of the Living Choir?
And my eyes have long
before the children do their last song, first of all, I want to give their names. It's Sarah Diamond from Montreal, Pally O'Neill, Jesse Saunders-Rutz, Erin Mandel, and Rebecca Finkelstein, and our accompanist, Tom Bellman. Before they do their last song, just two tiny moments in the history of Polish-Jewish relations. Last week, a survivor from Toronto told me the story about her grandfather in Birkenau. He was the rabbi of Birkenau, and he fled to the nearby forest with his son, who was very ill. He was near a monastery, a cloister, and every day the monks would come out and they would sing their hymns in Polish. When they were singing the hymns, they would tell him, "Please, come out of the forest, we will shelter you and protect you." The rabbi wasn't sure. And then his son died. And he said to himself, "I have nothing to live for. I don't care about my fate." And he walked out of the forest. The Polish monks saw him. They jumped on him, they grabbed him, and they pulled a cloak over him, and they dressed him as a monk for the rest of the war, and they saved his life. And they said to him, "We're of different faiths and different backgrounds, but you're a holy man. We must save you like we'd save our own." Those monks reached across boundaries and cultures and differences of faith to save a human life. Last story from Israel Gutman. Middle of the night, a Polish farmer wakes up. There's a Jewish family at his front door, begging to be saved. Polish man consults with his wife. "You can stay in the barn until the morning." The morning comes, the Jewish man's about to leave. Polish farmer comes, says, "My wife and I, we're very poor, we're starving, but we cannot turn you away. You can stay for as long as you need to stay." Until one day, the Jewish man discovers that in a neighboring Polish village, what happened was, a Jewish family was caught hiding by Poles. Not only did they kill the Jews, but they executed the Polish family. And as you know, they put signs around their necks saying, "This is what we do to people who save Poles." The entire family, not just the parents, the children were murdered too. When the Jewish family finds this out, the Jewish man says, "We're leaving." And as they're leaving, the Polish farmer comes over and says, "What are you doing?" The Jewish man says, "I found out what happened in a neighboring village, and after the good you've done to me and to my family, I can't possibly risk this happening to you." And for the first time, he saw the Polish farmer get angry, and the Polish farmer said, "Listen to me carefully. Put down your bags, because what happens to you happens to us. What happens to you happens to us. Our fate is a shared fate." And he saved their lives. This last story symbolizes the most noble values that can be found among the Polish and Jewish people. The poor farmer and his wife first offer food to the even poorer, starving Jewish man and his family. They rescue him, and then the Jewish family decides they cannot place the Polish family at risk and resolve to leave. But the Polish man and the woman insist. They stay, telling them, "What happens to you will happen to us." Are there any more noble words than these spoken during the entire period of the Holocaust? I share these final stories with you because I think it reflects the noble ideals that Peter seeks to accentuate as an individual seeks to honor both his Polish and Jewish roots. Peter, what you've done over the years is to choose the best examples from each of our traditions and build programs that reflect these ideals. Through your outstanding work with the Polish-Jewish Heritage Foundation of Canada, you have built bridges between our two cultures and religions and have helped bring so many people from our communities closer together in the spirit of brotherly and sisterly love. Our last song is a song of hope, that one day peace will reign among all members of the human family. Written by an Israeli soldier in honor of friends of his who died in the Arab-Israeli conflict. The last lines of the song read, "Let time heal every wound, and love will someday set us free." And this song will conclude our presentation of a few stories and a few songs in honor of our dear friend Peter. And Peter, may God give you the strength to continue your healing work for many years to come. You're a blessing and a gift to both the Polish and Jewish communities. Well done, Lord.